Whether you go and develop this primary object of meditation, paddle, or breathing is based on your understanding. If you understand, you can do, no problem, no harm. But if you don't understand, you will become gullible. Like I explained just now, what are methods, what are techniques, what are object of meditation. All these are only skillful means to anchor the mind, because people cannot make their mind peaceful or quiet. They realize because of the mental hindrance, they lack spiritual faculty. Their mind are not in the state of sati, aware. They cannot be in the state of sati with a free mind, not arising thought or thinking. That is their problem. That's why the Buddha said, this thing happen, it will condition heedless thinking or heedless of mind. Why? Because they lack the spiritual faculty. When you lack the spiritual faculty, the mental hindrance arise. So when the mental hindrance arise, it will hinder your mind from entering the meditative state. So because of that, most people who meditate or even meditation teacher, they find it very difficult to meditate. They realize a lot of thinking, a lot of thought process. So what they do is they have been trained in such tradition. All this tradition, most of them, they are taught methods and technique or skillful means to meditate. If you understand, then it's okay. It's like a skillful means for you to develop sati, mindfulness, and then no harm, no problem. The method, the technique, the object of meditation, whether Buddha or breath meditation, it works. It's just like the Buddha's teaching in the Satipatthana Sutta. The first foundation of mindfulness is Kaya Nupassana. Under Kaya Nupassana, there are 6 categories of cultivation or practices. The first one is Anapanasati. So that one, the Buddha introduced the object of meditation as the breath. Then he taught Anapanasati. Anapana is the in and out breath. Sati is mindfulness. So its meaning is very straightforward. Mindfulness of the in and out breath. That's why the Buddha said, train your mind to be aware first. Anchor it to the breathing, because our breath is always in the present moment. It cannot be otherwise. When you are aware of breathing, there is no thought. You are just aware. That's why the instruction is very simple. Breathing in, aware. Breathing out, aware. But if you are not trained, it's very difficult. Split second, the thought wanders off. That's why people who start out with Anapanasati find it very difficult to stay there. Yeah. So they need instruction, they need method, they need technique. But if you fail to understand the instruction, the method, and the technique, then you don't have the ability to develop it properly. So the purpose of Anapanasati is to develop mindfulness of the in and out breath. So you just do that. Like the Buddha said, every time the mind wanders off, bring it back. So maintain awareness in front of your nostril. Means the breath and the mindfulness move as one. Breathing in, away, breathing out, away. Until your mind becomes very quiet, very peaceful, and very still. That's why those who can do it, the mindfulness and the awareness will make you calm, peaceful, because you are only aware without thought. That's why your mind settles down. You don't have to focus like those who do one-pointedness. Apply thought, sustain thought. No need. No need to apply your thought and focus and sustain your thought. No need. You just relax, maintain awareness, mindfulness of the in and out breath. So if you do this, you become naturally peaceful, aware. It's a free mind. But the danger of anapanasati is if you become very good at it, it can also enter absorption, although it's not one-pointedness. Your mind can also enter apana samadhi and develop the higher state of concentration or absorption, meditation. So what you should understand is the Buddha never asked you to go to that extent. He said develop the mindfulness until it's very stable, until it become upachara samadhi, assess samadhi before going into apana. So instead of just the moment to moment mindfulness, you have to stabilize it until it becomes upachara samadhi. So when you can do that, your mind will experience a type of calm. He called it piti, spiritual calmness, or spiritual. Sometimes it becomes very blissful, not bliss. Like they call it spiritual rupture, like your mind rupture into a type of joy, spiritual joy. Then you continue to relax into it and silent, it becomes more refined. Then you can experience sukhang or the blissfulness of mind. Then you continue to relax into it and allow it to be. Then this anapanasati will transform again to develop the higher awareness or mindfulness. Then from sukhang, it becomes very quiet, the mind. The mind becomes very quiet. For those who do anapanasati, initially you will develop the sati, the mindfulness of the in and out breath until it becomes very calm, very still. The breathing is like very long, long breath, and you have clarity, a lot of clarity. Every movement is so clear to you before your sati, awareness, but there is no word. The mind is just aware, and it's very calm. Then when you continue to relax into it, it develops more refined mindfulness until you experience sukhang bliss. Then you continue to relax into it and silent. The mind becomes very quiet, until piti also gone, sukhang also gone. Then the mind becomes very still. We call this tranquility of mind, stillness of mind. And this is positive, the enlightenment factor, fifth enlightenment. You have to develop until there is like no more movement. Like your breathing is very short, very subtle. Like no more breathing. But do not panic. Do not do anything else. Have faith, silence everything, and just let the mind stay quiet and peaceful. Then if you are patient enough, this mind will transform and develop into positive tranquility of mind and stillness of mind. Then the mind will enter sati. When the mind enters sati, it will stabilize the positive and develop samadhi. For the mind to enter sati is not easy. You have to be patient. You have to silence everything until the mind is so relaxed and so still. Then you realize all of a sudden, whatever internal movement, whether it's very slight or subtle movement, whether it's your tactile or bodily or whatever, you can pick it up. It's like magnify for you. Then during that stage, you come to realize your mind has become different, very sensitive. The subtle breathing, you can detect it already. It's like there is a lot of movement there. Then you can maintain awareness of that subtle breathing, like no more breathing. It's like you do not rely on the normal breathing. Your internal breathing, the subtle breathing, can sustain the awareness and the mindfulness. Then when you come out of the formal meditation, you realize initially everything you do is like in sati. Your kaya, your hand movement, your stretching, your whatever, is like awareness, and the kaya movement is one. And that is what the Buddha wants you to develop. Then when you can develop that until it's stabilized, then you come to understand every moment of seeing there is a sati mind, the mind that is aware, mindful. And every moment of hearing also sati is there, nothing to cloud you, nothing to obstruct you or condition you. Your memory and all those things, views, opinion, will not come in and affect you because you have stability of sati and positive. Then during that time, your mind has entered sati. Means every moment of seeing, hearing, smell, taste, tactile, or thought conscious is in sati. That is the training you must develop. Then continue doing whatever you do in your daily life. This sati cultivation. This will lead to daily mindfulness, sati sampajana. But in between, when this mind arises, you can see many things. Your subtle mental intention, your mind become very sensitive. Then you can understand the Dhamma. Whatever you reflect, contemplate, you understand, you inquire, you understand. Whatever you hear or read again, you start to understand. Then the Dhamma become different. You start to straighten your view, your initial wisdom come in, your mind transform. So first category of cultivation, the Kayanupassana, is Anapanasati. So the sole purpose of Anapanasati is to develop the training of the mind to be aware, to be mindful, stabilize it until the mind enters sati. That's it. Then after that, what does the Satipatthana say under Kayanupassana? The second category of cultivation is the Buddha said, move into daily mindfulness. Initially, it's mindfulness of the four posture: standing aware, walking aware, sitting aware, lying down aware. Then after you have developed the training, you are skillful, move on to the third category of practice under Kayanupassana, which is Sati Sampajana. You have to cultivate mindfulness and clear comprehension. This is daily mindfulness. When you do that, your sati become very stable, very extraordinarily different. When your mind enters sati, your daily mindfulness will pick up. Then you can see a lot of things that you never see before. Your mind state, how your mind stir and react and create all this entanglement. How you land yourself in all the negativity of mind state. How fear arises. How worry, anxiety, sorrow, and lamentation arise? Why did you react through habitual tendency, your like and dislike, your pleasant and unpleasant? And you start to understand, and you start to develop clear understanding of the teaching. The five aggregate of form and mind, Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, and Vijnana. You see them all inside your form and mind. Then you understand who you are, what you are, and how you function as a human. How upon contact with the sense basis, consciousness arises, and how you input the content of consciousness. So everything you start to understand. Then the dwelling, paticca samuppada, all you start to understand. So this is how cultivation is to be developed.